meditation this morning. Meditation is one of those very elusive practices to most people. That's mysterious and makes them think that because you can meditate, you're now the most peaceful person on the planet. Or people seem to think that you have to have some sort of amazing skill set or desire or design in order to practice correctly. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Meditation is, in fact, a practice. It's something that you do every day if you can, right? And it's only really great in the moment that you're doing it, and then maybe in those moments afterwards where it presents itself. But meditation is not for the sake of meditating. I'm not going to tell you that you need to just go and sit and think about nothing stoically because that's what you should be doing, right? It's something that can help you. It's something that you will ultimately learn how to do as a yoga teacher, and something that even if you don't learn how to teach other people, will inspire other people based on your actions, right? So someone who meditates is generally someone who's a little bit more balanced, someone who knows how to communicate a bit more effectively, somebody who has these conversations with themselves about their feelings and their thoughts, and can maybe either articulate it a bit better or kind of maneuver through life in a way that is less about, I guess, staying away from them or avoiding, any conflicts that may arise. Meditation, I would look at it almost like learning to walk or learning to maneuver through life, right? When sometimes we walk, sometimes we crawl, sometimes we drive, anything like that. But learning to maneuver through life on your own terms, and realizing that life, just like a car or just like the crack in the side of the road, presents different things that will be problems. And meditation is valuable, not because we're great at meditation, Alexa, alarm off, but valuable because we know how to do it. So when we're in situations where we feel like, oh my God, I should panic, right? You'll get used to an instinctive internal response that is based on your meditation, right? And so I'll give you a few tips and tricks in this video of just like things to keep in mind as an intro to meditation, and check out a few more that I'll do that will lead you through specific ones. But meditation is the final result of our yoga practice. The yoga practice is described in the sutras of Patanjali as something that ceases, or there's a cessation or like a stopping of the fluctuations or like waves, we like to think of them, in the mind. So your waves in your mind are generally presented to you as your thoughts, your feelings, right? So thoughts and emotions are generally that you can categorize, okay, I'm either thinking like, this guy's talking way too much, like, or I smell the perfect perfume, and this being just a yoga class, or it could just any thought, wow, that siding on the side of that house is great, right? Any thought like that, boom, that's your thought. Feelings is something internal. It's what's behind that thought. You know your feelings, right? The things that are a lot harder maybe to articulate, but that you cannot escape, right? That energetic movement in the body, right? You feel angry, you can feel it, right? You feel happy, you can feel it, right? You feel sad, right? All of these various feelings you can feel, and as somebody who teaches and watches yoga, I can see it, right? Meaning that it's not just about an internal thing like your thoughts, like you can be completely crazy but be completely fit, right? Your feelings are gonna present themselves a lot of the times, if you're not aware, in your physical body. So if you feel sad, you might slump your shoulders a lot. Right? If you're very manic or energetic, your chest might always be up and you're ready to go, right? And these things, of course, change throughout the day. When you wake up, you might be a little more tired still. Middle of the day, you're a lot more wide and awake. And then by the end of the day, you're back to a little bit lower, right? And so these feelings, as they present themselves, will not only present themselves in your body and show you through that medium, but they'll also you'll become more aware of them as we sit in our meditation and focus on them, right? Feelings are internal, and so they can be scary, right? A lot of times we think of our thoughts as external, their subconscious is taking it in, and the TV said something about Kevin Garnett, and so now I had a dream about Kevin Garnett, so my thoughts are external. And the feelings are, supposedly, at least for me and a lot of people, this internal thing that comes and you don't know why I feel this, I don't know why I feel upset, I don't know why. It's just, it's your body responding back to those thoughts and the actions that kind of came from those thoughts. Right, so see it as a full loop, right? Your feelings, kind of maybe on this under subconscious side, you don't really know kind of where and why they're coming from all the time, but they happen and then they result in thoughts, right? And then the thoughts, the things that you think can make you feel a certain way. Your feelings can make you then act. And that middle of that circle is your actions, right? So you feel a certain way. I'm tired. I don't want to get out of bed. Your thoughts come in and supports that. You know, maybe we should. Nah, we shouldn't do that. And you feel guilty because you didn't do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to just change and I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So then you act and then you start to feel a little nervous. And so then all of a sudden you're like moving, but then your body's moving and you feel better. And you think, wow, this isn't that bad. And then you start to get excited. And then all of a sudden you're feeling your energy and everything and it's moving up and you're thinking, wow, I'm really good at this. And then all of a sudden you're super excited. You can feel this energetic surge. Maybe I'll try this thing, and you try it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, this is nervous, I'm nervous. And then you fall and life comes in and your thoughts say, oh shit, I did that too much. I think I'm too this, da, 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 da. Or your feelings say, oh, that was so fun. I want to try it again, blah, 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 right? I just showed you that whole circle because this is kind of the pathway that your mind can go on. Thought, feeling, thought, feeling, thought, feeling. In the middle of that is your actions, right? You'll find yourself maybe one day at a bar drinking way too much. Like, why am I doing this? Or find yourself feeling extremely excited when you go on a run or go on a consistent walk, right? All of these things that your thoughts and your feelings produce in your action will become your lifestyle and the way that you live. And so the action that we want to take, most importantly in my mind, is meditation, right? Meditation is going to be where you're just sitting and focusing on your breathing, which will help you focus on the moment that you're in right now, right? And so we do the yoga practice to kind of stir the pot. You ever made a pot of soup, right? I made pots of soup, I love soup, jambalaya, etc. The heavy stuff falls to the bottom. You can't see. You look at the top of the pot, the top can be bubbling, it can smell great, and that's your external body, right? Everything's, ooh, it smells delicious. Oh yeah, delicious. And then you go in there, you get the spoon, you start to dig a little bit and stir the contents of the pot, see what's going on, and you find that at the bottom, it's kind of like scraped down there. Like there's some something going on down there, right? The meditation is the yoga is you spinning, stirring the pot, seeing at the bottom. Like for instance, your emotions might make you very angry or manic at work, or you're upset. And so your shoulders get real tight, and now you have this tightness in your shoulders. Now you have this severe tightness in your shoulder because it's imbalanced. And then it goes up to your neck physically, and then maybe to the back of your ear. Now you're getting migraines, neck, right? All of that can result from your feeling and therefore your action. So in yoga, we go back and we don't say, hey, your life sucks, that's why you're upset. Now we say, hey, your shoulder's a little tight. You ever thought about like kind of loosening your shoulder up a little bit? And so you do that. You go through Warrior 1 or Warrior 2 or upward facing dog, or downward facing. And we go into each, and we focus not just on the shoulder, but in many different spaces. And when you find that physical response, that reflection that of your thoughts and your feelings in your body, we give you a chance to not only extend it, but to feel the power of your own body to relieve itself within itself. Now, not pulling your arm, you're reaching and letting you're choosing to let this go. The same way your body chose to pull it in, right? And so as a meditator or someone who's meditating, you're focused on that external, like, movement first, so that you don't feel as much, and your thought in your body, right? Your body isn't storing that thought from yesterday. It's not making you still upset. It's not overly excited about something, right? It's calm. And once you're in this space, in your Shavasana, your corpse pose, even in the seated position like this, you then focus on what that feeling feels like. Now that's easier said than done, right? And so what we do is we do it a few different ways. There's a few different ways that you can practice, but I'll tell you more about your settings first, and then kind of list those ways, and then there'll be more videos to show you each of those, right? And so the first thing that you want to make sure is that you're focused on is going to be the way that you're sitting, and so trying to find a comfortable position. So a lot of times at the end of your yoga practice, it's an automatic opportunity to do your meditation because you're lying down in your corpse pose. That's with your feet at the ends of the mat, palms facing up, and your back is flat, and you're just completely relaxed. Right? Your mind will naturally kind of wander, and the thoughts and feelings in a body that's relaxed will feel separate. right? So you'll start to be able to be just kind of laying there, feeling the joy, that just internal feeling of not practicing, right? You did all this work, especially if you're doing the Ashtanga series. The harder you go in there, the more you're kind of working through all that physical stuff, then you'll get an opportunity to just sit there and take a break, that ease you feel when you get into bed, right? Your body is still alert. Your mind is alert because you were just thinking and kind of focused for the last 30 minutes to an hour. And so you can still be kind of awake, but you'll feel the difference in how your mind relates to your body, right? And so one, when you practice your meditation, know that that's what it's about. Your main thing is you're never wrong. You never do it too short. You never do it too long, right? It's really about you taking that time in that moment, whether it's 5 breaths or 500, to just feel. And so don't go into your meditation, or try not to go into your meditation with any expectations, any pressure, any judgment. You're literally just sitting here with yourself, being by yourself, observing that natural presence and beauty that you have just within your design, right? It's like you're getting out of your own way. Remember, we went and just pulled off this old muck and dirt and stuff that's tight in the body, and we're letting it go. And so you might have some attachments that are still trying to hold on. Just let it go, right? And the techniques that I'll teach you will help you do that. But your intention, the reason you're practicing, needs to be pure. And the simpler, the better, right? It can be for things that are about yourself, but if you can't do it for yourself, it's easy to do it for somebody you love, to think, or for people, or for this. Try and think of the reasons that you want to practice, and let that still any negativity that might come up as a result of just how you've lived, right? It's a part of the process of kind of getting over yourself and learning to just sit still with yourself. The next thing that you want to focus on is, of course, practicing first. Move a little bit. So it's harder to do if you're just in bed, right? And you just kind of like wake up and start meditating. Try and move a little bit. Get a sun salutation in, get 1 or 2. At least identify those spots that might be triggers, that might be spaces that you hold a lot of tension, that might be distractions. Acknowledge them in your physical practice first, and then you'll be able to sit still for longer without thinking, oh, this is really hurting my lower back or my hips, right? The next thing is going to be your space. Try and find a consistent space. I shoot a lot of video in this space, so I've kind of come to like it. It's just a corner of my living room. But if you can, and you don't have kids like I do, and you have an extra space, try and carve out a space for yourself. If you can do a whole room in your house, good, do the whole room. If you can't, fine. All you need is a mat's worth of space, right? So if you're watching this in jail, move to the side of the cot, put the mat down, and that's your space. But make sure you identify and define your space in a way that's gonna make you feel as you walk into it that it's okay that you're just spending time with yourself. So for me, plants is something I really like to add in because I just like that natural feeling. I like jungle plants, and I've learned that because I prioritize how I feel in creating my space. The next thing that you're going to want to focus on is, that's my daughter, is you're elevated maybe in your seat. So if you have been working on your hips a lot and it's really tight, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. Lifting the seat up and sitting on a cushion or a block will allow for that pressure to come off a little bit, and it will support your spine. So the base of your spine being rooted down into that lifted space and your shoulders stacking over the spine will allow for you to feel almost like you're sitting in a large chair or throne, right? You can lean back, and it's not so much pressure on keeping the front of your body up and focusing on the front of the body, but finding balance and feeling lighter is really nice. Like, I just want to kind of stay here forever. It's really nice. I think I'm gonna do it for the rest of the year. And then finally, the way that you enter into your meditation, and this is, I'm only adding this in as one of the few techniques that I'll give you because I heard it and loved it and think it's just great, and you can do it with every single meditation, is starting with your eyes open. I like to start with the eyes open, kind of like I'm looking at you now, and start to take full, kind of animalistic breaths, I like to think, like a breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. So the breath in your nose keeps you from taking this short, right? You can only pull so much in through your mouth. Through your nose, you can slowly siphon in air. My lungs feel small today, I don't know why, but slowly pull in air for a longer period of time. It's more controlled. bringing the air in. And in your meditation, our idea is to relax. So we do breathe out of the mouth. So we let more out at once. You feel your body relaxing down, and you can slowly take yourself from this conscious space, which at the end of your yoga practice may be very alert or very like manic almost, with this energetic injection that you might have. But then you're taking yourself to this very calm, relaxed space with purpose, exhaling out of the mouth. We'll keep the eyes open at first so that we're conscious of this process. And as you feel the body start to soften, maybe after 4 or 5 breaths, slowly you can then allow the eyes to close. Now, meditation is not only done with closed eyes. Some people find it a bit easier with eyes open. And if you think about it, when we practice our yoga, if you're listening to your instructor and you're keeping your eyes on the spaces that they ask, especially in Ashtanga yoga, look at your thumb, look at your toe, look at the ceiling, look at the belly button, look behind you, look up, right? All of these spaces are keeping your mind from focusing on the external world and having you actually meditate on yourself as you practice. So that's one of my favorite reasons for practicing the Ashtanga yoga practice. Meditation is a huge part of it, and it makes it all worth it. If you can't do the poses, great. It doesn't really matter. You're just trying to figure out, oh, I can't do it because of this, and then sit still long enough to meditate and realize that you're still just as good. So I love you. Enjoy the videos. Keep practicing.